Welcome, guys, to this little snippet. What are we going to talk about? Yadi, tell us. What are we going to talk about?
Black Adam.
Black Adam. So
There you have it.
now that the movie has been out for the weekend, I think we can talk about it. There's going to be spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you still want to hear what we have to say, maybe wait until you watch it and then come back. So start off with the movie. It was fantastic. Listen, I think this movie put DC back in the map.
I think so. Too.
And if they keep making the movies like they did with this one, they're gonna give Marvel a run for their money in the next couple of years. I think. And that's it. Thank you. We're done.
No, I kind of disagree with that because it's gonna take a long while before they can get to the caliber that Marvel is doing now. Like Marvel's had how many years to build up everything that they've done, and we've said it before, there was no guarantee that it was ever even going to work. And DC, especially in recent years, has been hit or miss. This movie, Black Adam, is definitely a hit. It's an amazing movie.
I agree.
It's one of the few that that's come out that I was genuinely excited for when I saw the trailers, and I'm thoroughly impressed by what they've done.
Here's the thing. Also, I was excited for it, but I've been disappointed with DC. So has everyone.
Yep.
To the point where I was very excited about this movie, but I didn't buy the tickets until the week before. And normally, like Black Panther, we bought them the day that they announced that they were going on for sale.
Yep.
And Thor, same thing. No Way Home, the same thing. So with this one, I kept going back and forth. Am I gonna buy it? Am I gonna wait until I actually see what people are saying? And then I said, you know what, screw it. Why not? Why not? Also, content for you guys. We want to make sure we give you the content. We want to make sure we stay relevant to the current event.
You gotta be up to date.
Exactly. So
certain movies, I think we're on the fence about, and we probably won't see it right away. And then even then, a lot of us won't see it at the same time because most of it being we want to wait and see what other people say about it. Not necessarily what the critics say about it, because newsflash, folks, the critics were wrong. Period.
Yes,
I
agree.
I love the best quote out of the critics was, "This movie is a movie." What?
Also, what movies do critics actually like? That's the real question.
None.
Right.
I would say the kind of movies that critics like, but we don't get political on any of these shows, so
right.
Okay.
I also think they get attached to like the actors, and they kind of rate the actors instead of rating the actual story. Because
right,
there's a lot of haters for him out there. So
right, there's a lot of people that say that he's overrated.
Right.
And
I don't get it.
I'm the other way around. I think that everything he does, it might not be a hit, but it's still good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Old and
Like
new.
to me, right. Like to me, Jumanji, the original is always going to be the best. But the two that he made are awesome. They're not the
they
best,
add more value to the whole franchise now.
Right,
I'll have to go back and see him.
A lot of people they complain about that movie because it's not a board game.
Well,
sorry, we right. If you want the new fans to catch new fans, you need to, I don't know, go with what they like and what's out there and what people like is video games. So
yep,
right, but not just that.
I think it was clever.
most people don't play board games unless it's like hurricane season. So what are you complaining about? Unless you have nothing else to do, that's when you're playing board games. I'm not saying that board games are irrelevant. I'm saying they're not as popular as they used to be.
Correct.
Now, the video games are really popular, so therefore you're going to stay with modern.
Right. Maybe we ought to turn that around. Set a new trend.
Maybe we shall, but then, a lot of people will get into debates and anger and like Doctor Strange. That's all I'm saying. You might lose friends and friendships.
Let's circle back.
Yeah, let's circle back. Let's get back on
and the
Black
Winter
Adam.
Soldier.
Let's go back. Yeah. No, let's not get back on Black Adam.
Moving on, getting back on track.
Listen, the whole story was fantastic. They keep you thinking that he was the son the whole time.
Yes, I like that introduction too.
Right.
Although they didn't go straight into it. They actually broke it down, and that's a different take on all this.
That was the cool part about it.
But in the trailer, you can hear him say, I was supposed to die and my son saved me. And it's obviously Dwayne Johnson's voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I was confused, obviously, when I saw that. I remember that from the trailer, but then they're talking about the son and how he was the champion and all that. And I'm like, was he the son? Also, one thing that kept me thinking, no, I think something else is going to happen because they never showed the dad. The whole interaction between the son and his father, they never show his father's face.
Right.
Yeah, I got to see that part. I was like looking at it and I could tell. I was like, oh, maybe they make him seem like he looked like The Rock. So obviously when he grows up, he is him. So they made him look like him but skinnier. And I was like, maybe that's just what they're doing, but no.
Right. And then we get to that scene where she confronts him, the lady that he had saved in that where she was like, this isn't your tomb, is it? It's your prison. And then we see the rest of that story and how
that's pretty cool.
His son was chosen as the champion. He saves his father's life, transfers his powers to him, and then shortly thereafter winds up dying. And
I thought that was clever.
Yeah, I liked how that scene when they show how his suit or his superhero suit becomes to be what it is because of the anger.
Right. It got consumed by darkness. His suit shows how he is. And then towards the end of the movie, even though it's still a black suit, now you can see the gold trim.
Yep.
And the cape.
In the cape. Which
I
thought it was
bolt. Yeah, the lightning bolt, which was mostly obscured, is like that much brighter now. And more well-defined.
It's more like Shazam.
Right.
Or Captain Marvel, if you all really want to get technical.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's one of those things that confuses people a lot. The ones that start reading comic books for the first time that have been introduced to the MCU already, they're like, Captain Marvel, wait, is this a crossover?
Marvel own this? No.
No, they changed it. I heard a rumor that they start changing it to away from Captain Marvel because Marvel struck a deal with them. It's like, hey, we want to use this name. Is there any way that we can just keep it and not be anything with you guys? Because it makes sense. Captain Marvel is one of the most overpowered superheroes in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
And it makes sense that they want to keep that name because it has their name.
Right.
And it makes complete sense. However, one of the things that I was very excited about was the ending. It did not fall short. They gave us a fight, and it wasn't a fight that lasted 2 seconds. It was the right amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I thought it was well drawn out, the fight, the fight between the JSA and what the fuck was the villain's name again? Was it Sabak or Savak?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. The box.
that was actually his character was the only thing that really kind of disappointed me as far as his look and the
CGI.
CGI that used on
Yeah.
him. And the weird thing is, and there was one other YouTuber, I forget his name. I actually saw his video on this, and I actually agree with him that when he was fighting Dr. Fate and the rest of the JSA, you didn't really notice how, underwhelming he looked, but when he started fighting Black Adam, uh that's when you really notice that, okay, the way they did this character just doesn't really look the way it should,
Menacing.
pretty much.
I
Yeah.
hope that they
And
fix it for when it comes out, like to own and whatnot, because obviously the quality video of now the movie theater, it's not as good as when you have it at home or you have a better TV.
Right.
So hopefully they fix it for sure.
It's also stretched out and
Yeah.
all that. So one thing that I like to point out, the JSA gave me Marvel vibe. We had Ant-Man, we had Doctor Strange, we had Storm, and we had Falcon,
Hmm.
all fighting Mephisto.
It didn't help that he actually looks like the
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah,
And it's funny though, because it seems to have been a common complaint among a number of people, and it's just like, some people don't mind it as much. Like me, I
I
don't
did it.
really care because I understand it's like,
Yeah.
okay, these characters came first, they were created first, but at the same
right,
time, it seemed like they were kind of taking ideas from the action sequences from Marvel movies, and that in and of
right,
itself isn't really a bad thing because
right,
this is essentially what their powers are.
And this is
right,
So
what they were in the
the
comics.
complaints,
So
right?
they
So the
went
complaints
at the
basically
head.
become moot, but
right,
but for some people just hold on to that to the point where I'm just like, no, just stop. Like, enjoy the movie for
right.
what it is.
For those that are new to this, here's a little fun fact or fact about Doctor Fate. He was created in 1940, and Doctor Strange was created in 1962. So we had 22 years before
Hmm.
Doctor Strange was created. Here's the thing: Marvel was already pushing their superheroes. It. I think that this debate would have been completely different if DC would have introduced Doctor Fate before Doctor Strange got introduced to the MCU.
Right. And this is what The Rock was actually working on, to basically put the eyes on not the common superheroes from DC, because they keep
Hmm.
going around and around with the same ones.
Mhm.
Right.
This is what he wanted to accomplish, is to showcase other side of the DC world.
Exactly. And
Right,
he's been trying to get this character on the big screen for years. He
15
this
years.
is one of these this is one of those characters that he really enjoys and really identifies with, and I can see that, and it works.
yep,
And I'm glad we
mhm,
were able to get this character on screen, and I'm glad that he was the one playing it. Overrated as some
I
people might think he is, which
right.
I don't agree with. This speaks for itself.
The body type's the same.
You can
They
tell
didn't have
he
to use
put in the work,
They didn't
yeah,
have to use
because
you
any
he's
kind of padding or anything like that. It was just him in
uh
the suit, and
right,
that was it.
that's
right,
crazy.
and he still looked like a beast.
Yep.
One thing that I noticed is that people were super excited about this movie, and then the one part that people cheered when I was at the theater was when they showed him without a shirt. Like, people start cheering. I'm like, "Oh, okay. It's not like we've never seen him without a shirt before,
Right,
but"
like that's what he used to do all the time, being in
yeah, like, if you really
underwear.
wanna see him without a shirt,
Yeah. Go back and
um,
watch the old
watch
wrestling tapes.
Right,
right, or, the Hercules movie.
Well, yeah,
that
that
So
too,
movie.
but yeah, like I
so,
said, go back and watch the old wrestling tapes, especially
yeah.
the most recent stuff with him between him and John Cena.
Yeah.
If you really want to see him, he is wearing just underwear, pretty much, and boots.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
That's it.
If you really want to see him, he's in his underwear.
Yep. And all right, so to close this out, after credit scene, Mr. Henry Cavill shows up
Mm-hmm.
as
Sure does.
Superman. We told you there were spoilers. Here's my theory on this, because we're gonna get another Superman movie.
Of course.
Period.
It's a given. He signed on for one. Yeah, they did. They managed to get him. And you can thank The Rock for this. Again,
Right.
they got Henry Cavill for at least one more Superman movie.
Yeah,
Right.
he said it on his Instagram, I think today or yesterday.
Yep. So here's my theory. Superman movie is gonna be revolved around him and Black Adam
Black Adam.
and Shazam. Because the last time that we saw them three
Mm.
in animated movie together was I think it was a Superman movie or it was a Shazam movie. And I think it was a Shazam movie because it showed frame by frame how he got his power compared to, or Shazam, compared to the Shazam movie. Frame by frame.
Hmm.
And then he can't control his powers. He's flying around, destroying buildings by mistake because he doesn't know how to fly. Superman thinks he's a threat. They start fighting. He's trying to explain to him, I'm just a kid. I don't know what I'm doing. And Black Adam gets awakened because of the magic powers that Shazam has. And now they have to join forces, Shazam and Superman, to beat Black Adam. I think that the next Superman movie is going to be that, because that night that we saw the movie, we saw Black Adam, obviously. We saw Superman in the after credit scene and the trailer for Shazam. All three of them were on that screen, and you can't tell me that that's Marvel level coincidence. So I think that I was gonna go. What do you guys think?
That could be honestly, that could be. They could also play this out on a second Black Adam movie. I know they're going to hint at it in an after credit scene on the next Shazam movie at some point, because I mean they're well into filming on that. So I think the best they can do is probably another after credit scene that alludes to that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'd say that theory is fairly sound. Like, I think that we could get something that big on the next Man of Steel movie.
Right.
But at the same time, I think there's probably going to be a bigger overarching bad guy that isn't Black Adam, which is going to force the three of them to team up in order to beat that one. Who that
Right.
is anybody's guess at this point.
It's
That's
Doctor Doom.
You stupid.
DC Marvel team up. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. All Disney has
Spider-Man
to do
shows
is
up.
all Disney has to do is buy DC, and it's pretty much a given.
For those that don't know, Spider-Man and Batman have team up in the comic book. There's actually one out there right now, a current. So go to your local comic book store, and you can find a Batman Spider-Man team up. One last thing before we go. We have a Wong level character in DC right now, Amanda Waller. She is in every DC movie that we've had in the last 5 years. So
yeah, this would be the association that they will have probably for the
yeah.
next like Suicide Squad movies too.
That could
Right.
be. My input on that, though, as it relates to the after credit scene, I think Amanda Waller was probably the wrong person to introduce or to say, I have these people that I can dial from, beyond this world. I think honestly, if you were going to have that interaction between Black Adam and somebody to say, hey, we're going to call in Superman, it probably should have been like Batman or somebody else. Some
Or
of
the
the members of
Oracle.
the Justice League. Who?
The Oracle.
She also
too.
is the Nick Fury of DC.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking more so, yeah.
Because she also shows up on Peacemaker. Actually, she has a very big part in Peacemaker, by the way. That's not a
Also,
spoiler,
the blonde
but
girl that is in the underwater prison, she is in Peacemaker. She's the big part of that too.
Hmm.
You didn't notice that?
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that series yet, so
Neither have I.
Well, she was in the Suicide Squad movie, and then they transitioned to the Peacemaker.
Hmm.
She was one
She-
of Waller's, like
IT.
right, because she was downgraded because her job was higher. But yeah,
In Suicide Squad 2, IT. I call it IT because they were
Hmm.
literally on computers.
yeah, and then she got moved up to in Peacemaker, what
Right.
she was doing before being the IT person.
Hmm.
Right.
In Suicide Squad. But yeah, they're mixing things. Obviously, we don't know the dates on this because they're probably mixing a lot with the like the time for
Right.
each movie. Because I thought the Justice Society was way before Justice League, but this kind of proves different because the kid even have Batman figures, so he already knew about Batman. All this stuff was already happening at the
Right.
same time as
When
Justice
I don't
League,
know if
probably.
you guys noticed when Black Adam is fighting in the kids' room, uh, they hit every single major
Yeah,
superhero.
in their faces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I thought that was pretty cool. The
Yeah.
first
Awesome.
one the first one that gets it is Superman's logo
Yeah.
when he
Yep.
wakes up.
Okie dokie.
All right, real quick, let's go around the room and give me your rating for this movie from 1 to 10. Yadi, go.
I think for me is a good 8.5.
Hmm.
I thought it was really up there. Not the best
Yep.
because some of the CGI stuff, but I really love the story. You know,
hmm
they gave time to everyone, so
Cool.
like to show up not just the main guy.
It wasn't just one. Yeah.
Right.
Justin.
Same deal. Solid 8.5. Mainly for the same reasons. The biggest knock against it being the CGI from Sabak, especially, which incredibly noticeable when he's fighting Black Adam. But otherwise, an incredible movie.
Nice. Okay. Lola.
I give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
There's a level of corniness that a lot of DC movies have, and it just makes me cringy.
Mm.
And it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but like, cut it down with the corniness, and then we'll go up in rating.
Yeah. I'm going with Yadi and Justin with this one, 8.5, because of the same reason. I think that the CGI could have been a little bit better. They focused the whole movie on the CGI. Adam Smasher's CGI was great.
Mm.
Yeah, he reminded me of Deadpool a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. He did. His suit reminded me of Deadpool. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the story was great. I don't think that they should change anything in the story if they could. And The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he was great as Black Adam. All right, that was our rating for Black Adam. If you agree with us, great. If you don't, great. It's a movie. We're not critics. We're just telling you how we really feel about this. So join us next week on our newest episode. And I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.